This is Kathy Chase, and it's the middle of the night, January 11th, 2012. As I said, sometimes I wake up shaking. Tonight I woke up shaking. It's not all the time. Sometimes it's on the right side of my right side of the body, and sometimes it's on the left side of the body, and sometimes it's all over. And as I said, I dropped out of college to have Amber, my oldest daughter, and these people are punishing me with this because they think they have the right to put me through school thing, which they can't, using The Wall, Pink Floyd The Wall, and then using there's another song, something about school, and something about the year 1997. I don't know who Barack Obama thinks he is to punish me for dropping out of college or whatever. I don't know who the heck he thinks he is to start running for office and to come along and start beating me up and abusing me with Shannon and Kim and Nick and whoever and Rob. You know, as I said, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 14 years. And they play this social services game. They've abused me to the point of having post-traumatic stress disorder. And they now I get supplemental Social Security, and then they want to play social games, they're social elite, and they like to frickin' try to chastise me with a Chase name and play Easter egg hunts and do all this bullying in my life. And I'm 38 years old, and these people are supposed to be adults, and they act like children. And Barack Obama sets a horrible, horrible, horrible example. I don't know what's wrong with him. These people still abusing me. They abused me since I woke up in the middle of the night. Sean called me. He's been sick today, and I don't know. I don't like living in the United States anymore. I really don't. These people are abusing me with their social parties. And as I said, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 14 years. I've always been told I'm a good mother up until it was convenient for Rob and these other people to frickin' think they wanted to come along and start abusing me because they had no integrity or were real friends and such to begin with. I don't know why nobody in government has done anything yet. I really don't. It's very disturbing for me. As I said, J Street goes directly through the courthouse. They planned all these little court things and putting me through all these obstacles and creating all these difficulties in my life when my life was simple, and I like stability, and I like a drama-free life without people creating difficulties for me. I love my children very much. I would never hurt my children. I love them so much. They're the most important thing to me in my life. And they use them as a weapon against me because they've done things to them. And so they take it out on me. They've chipped them, and they've taken it out on me. And I don't know what the problem is with the Chase family thinking it's okay to freaking abuse children. There's probably I think there's a place for exploited children, because I was exploited, and now they're doing the same with my children. And everybody knows there's songs about me living on High Street and Normal Boulevard when I was a teenager. I was underage at those years. They are setting the example that it's okay to pick on one person and their children and make me live in terror and fear in every day of my life and be abused. This is what they're teaching Americans and society. They know I'm scared out of my wits. I'm terrorized. They know my body's abused. There's songs about it. There's songs about it. There's songs about the pacemaker, whether they want to lie about it or not, and everybody knows it's there. The papers even acknowledged it indirectly. Everybody's acknowledged it's there. And what's it there for? Because they set me up to play this stupid little up game with the ups and the UPS. Sometimes people call the UPS the ups man or whatever. I'm not here for Barack Obama to abuse. I don't know who he thinks he is. I don't even know him. I don't know who he thinks he is to come along and start beating me up. Just right around the age, well, it was about 4 years ago. And I don't know who he thinks he is to come along and start abusing me for things that have happened to me and things that aren't my fault, and some of the things I'm sure he's responsible for. Why else would this be happening if he wasn't responsible for some of the things that have happened to me in my body? These people are teaching the public it's okay to exploit children, exploit me, because I was underage. I was underage when I started being exploited without my knowledge. And, you know, their whole school thing, and they're frickin' caning my shoulders. As I said, I experimented with LSD in high school. And when you do LSD, you get tense shoulders after you do it. You don't know, you just have tense shoulders. And, you know, they wanted to give me post-traumatic stress disorder. I had postpartum depression with my children. That's normal. A lot of women have that. I only had it for a short time, but it's, you know, the women go through that. The other thing with the 14th Street and their love mongering and their hate mongering and their war mongering, fear mongering, basically committing war crimes on a mother of 3 children. You know, the CIA has the No Fear Act, and they basically mock me with all this other stuff, and I'm not responsible for anything that's happened to me. And you know, and I don't know why they think they can abuse me for things that have happened to me and I'm not responsible for. They're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. I don't know how anybody would want to be associated with the Obama administration. You know, their whole school game, as I was getting at, they're basically trying to, you know, with the once upon a time thing, because they treat me like I'm a fairy tale, but I'm not. I don't know what's wrong with them. I have no idea what's wrong with them. People aren't fairy tales. I don't have a tail. There's brake lights and tail lights and frickin', you know, the Ford Thunderbirds, you know, in the old days, you know, all the cars with the, you know, and then, birds, and then, their whole thing with eggs and, I don't know, eggs and birds, and then my foot, the pig thing, and they're, pigs have like a spiral tail, I think. I don't really know. They're just nuts. They wanted to give me, they're playing their little flashbacks and post-traumatic stress disorder and flashbacks with the little trip stuff. And as I said, the once upon a time, they want to put me in a corner, basically kill me, and put a dunce cap on me. There's something wrong with them. I'm not the dunce because of a Foo Fighter song about being done with people or whatever, but it wasn't me. I thought when I married Rob, I thought it was for life. You got to turn around. I wish I would have never married him. I wish I would have never met him. I wish I would have never met these other people who have no integrity. They're fake. Dunce. Maybe they're dunce. They're dunce thing with dunce caps, sitting in corners, abusing. Children used to be abused with rulers or whatever. Sometimes they still are, I guess. And rulers are 12 inches long, the same as your foot. You use a cane, to walk if you have an injured foot. And people, in Asian, or I don't know, the Philippines, get caned in the shoulders or whatever. I thought I was living in the United States of America. They want to cook me as if I'm really a bird or an animal. And then, the whole 1400 A Street with their Flag Day and their Valentine's Day stuff, claiming this love crap for me. That's all they've done is abuse me. I've not had any good treatment whatsoever. They treat me very bad. They have people working for the state treat me bad. At times. Out of nowhere. This just all came from out of nowhere. They pay people to treat me bad. I'm not responsible for what's happened to me. And these people can't get it through their frickin' heads that this is not appropriate behavior to bully me around like this. They're 1400 A Street. And Bucharest, Mazer, and Love Mortuary has always been there. I'm sure it was there before I was born. We have Love Library at the Nebraska NU University. NU Nebraska University, which is here in Lincoln. UNL is here in Lincoln, where I'm at. They want to play L corners because Rob and Randy graduated in the year 1990, and you have 90-degree angles. And I was with both of them. And guess what? They're both favorites to the presidents, Randy and Rob. Oh, it's okay for them to be fake, And then they're 1400. Here's the other thing. They like to say I'm this color or whatever, this yellow or whatever. Well, the whole 1400 A Street thing. Roberts Park is on there. Me and Rob spent some time there when we were dating. Back when he used to skateboard. We'd go there. We've been there a few times, and Roberts Park is there on 1400 A Street. It's on 56th corner of the 1400 block of A Street. But as people know, women ovulate on the 14th day, about the 14th day of the month. Your body develops eggs, and then they want to play this, try to get me knocked up game or whatever to try to kill me, because they're crazy. Oh, the eggers, and they have eggs. Well, all women do. You're crazy. I have 3 children. There's living proof that I'm a woman, and you're crazy for making your claims. People can see the pictures of my children online. You're nuts. One time I went to the hospital for having a cyst on my ovaries. I've had, I was on progesterone with Sean. I have kind of a hormone imbalance, which I don't take medications for, but I should. Probably along the lines of polycystic, I don't know, I forgot what it's called, polycystic ovarian syndrome or whatever, or whatever. It's not really anything serious, but I probably, my mom, takes hormone replacement therapy and stuff like that. Women typically in my family have to have hysterectomies when they're young, and hysterectomies, so they want to play Rudolph, Rudolph Hitler with my life. You go down in history. Well, here I sit and panic about my children every day. I worry about them. I try to protect them every day. People continue to use them as human shields because they don't want to die, and because they play this little frickin' game with my life, and I'm ganged up upon, and everybody just sits there and nobody does anything about this. These people bully up on me and my children, and nobody does anything. And I just sit here and I'm just like, why isn't anybody doing anything? I'm not crying wolf. This is real. The things they've done to me and my children are real. Me rushing my son to the hospital, that was real. Having wheezing attacks when we were living on Churchard Road. Because Jefferson's and Wheezy, they did something to the carpet over there, I think. Because Sean, we had lived over there, since the house was brand new, and I think they put something in the carpets over there or something, because we moved in there when Sean was really, about a year old. And these people, all they do is sin against me and my children. And they make their claims just to make it look okay. I'm surrounded by bullies, in which, Lincoln, Nebraska seems to think this is acceptable behavior for adults in their late 30s to just come along and start bullying me and ganging up on me just out of nowhere. People that posed as my friends, and my husband posed as my husband for 20 years. Now he thinks it's okay. Rob's family says it's so okay and socially acceptable for him to suddenly, after spending 20 years, almost 20 years with me, it's socially acceptable to gang up and bully on me with these people. How is it socially acceptable to gang up on somebody and their children? I would have never had children with him had I known what the Chase family were all about. Had I known what was going on here locally, I would have left Lincoln, because nobody does anything about anything. As I said, J Street's basically smack dab in the middle of the courthouse. J, and caning and my Kathy Joe and my name. They try to hook my name together, like on Social Security papers. They try to manipulate my name to make me look like I'm a foreigner. Everything's opposite. I think Obama's the foreigner, so he has to abuse me to make me look like I'm the foreigner. I'm the actual citizen in the United States, so they sit there and abuse me as if I'm not, because he's probably not a born U.S. citizen. And then they play their social games with my life because his social party. This is communism. This is not normal behavior. This is oppression, as in Obama for oppression, and this is communism, and this is sick display of mental illness. There's nothing socially acceptable about bullying on a mother and her 3 children. I don't want to live in the United States anymore because nobody does anything about this sort of behavior. These people have bullied on me for a long time. Just suddenly out of nowhere. These people used to hang out with me, spend time with me. I knew Rob since April of 1990, and April of 1990 is when I first started dating Rob. And now it's socially acceptable for him to gang up on me and bully me with these people who pretended to be my friends. And these people are supposed to be in their late 30s. And presidents are supposed to be setting an example, a good example. What if I don't want to be? Why do I have to be abused by people who want to play social games with my life when I don't care about hanging out with them to begin with? Why do I have to be punished by people who want to make a statement that they're better than me, but when I don't care about hanging out with them to begin with, they have no maturity, and they sit there and abuse me, and they teach this to Amber, my 17-year-old, that it's good to bully people in their late 30s. And she thinks this is normal, okay behavior. She thinks this is normal. She thinks this is okay. She thinks this is part of being around celebrities and cool. To poison and to hurt me and her sister and brother. And they've used her as a human shield, and she's just so brainwashed now. They've tried to use her as a human shield. I ran off to Iowa the one time when I thought they were going to use the 311 Amber song to kill her in the 8th grade. Now I think he's sleeping with her. Now, you know how sick that is? She's 17 years old, and the same man who has tried to use her to try to kill her because of a song, because, he actually knows her dad. And this is the other sick thing. I'm pretty sure that Nick Hexum is my husband's boyfriend, and he's my daughter's boyfriend, And then, I have to play these stupid little 311 song games about beautiful disaster, and I don't even know 311. And I'm not the one with the Irish name, by the way. And I'm the Kennedy Bridge thing, and eggers and ovulation and, Ovaltine. I don't know. They're all chocolate, and they're chalk, and they're murder chalk. And I don't know how the public of Lincoln, Nebraska thinks this is acceptable to set this sort of example for the city of Lincoln. And Dave Heineman, he doesn't do nothing about it. I'm sure he's paid rather well to just look away, just like the police department. And I'm so tired of being here, being in Lincoln, Nebraska, There are people in Lincoln, Nebraska who look concerned, and then there's these people that run around sitting there smiling and acting, playing their little games on their phone. They'll sit there and harass me with Kim and Shannon and rock stars. They sit there and harass me, and they sit there and smile and think it's all funny when I live my life in terror every day because they're a bunch of bullies. I have to deal with bullies in my late 30s out of nowhere because Rob wanted to go be with these people. Why do they think they have to bully me and exploit me and do all these bad things to me because they wanted to be together at a certain age? Why do they think I have to die and my children have to die as an erase and replace because of a stupid frickin' song? You don't erase people's lives because you don't want to know them. Okay? When you're done with them and you don't want to know them anymore, you don't erase people's lives. I know a lot of this comes from Richard Chase because Rob changed as soon as Nancy died. He got worse. I mean, his dad's got some issues, mental issues. He thinks I'm CE as in on a toy, or, he made the kids toy chests. Richard Chase made the kids toy chests and engraved Sean and Amber. He made them toy chests out of wood because he works with wood, and his Chinese astrology is wood. And he just can't stand the fact that I'm water and I'm supposed to be his mother. People with their Chinese astrology. And he put their names in ivory, real ivory, on the toy chests. So basically, I know he's chipped all my children. He's made them toy boxes with their names on them out of wood. And they have like the little square types of corners on them. You know how you make the joints on certain wood furniture where they have the crisscross cut on them with a saw. He made them. And these people are sick. Richard Chase is extremely sick. All the things he's bought Rob, orange snow blowers and Black & Decker, the 200, everybody's seen the garage photos. I don't know why, Richard Chase thought it was a good, he basically wanted to use me, I think, for Rob to have children and then chip them up because he profits off of the exploitation of children. And he's the one who's had the most money. I know my parents don't have that kind of money. I know these people are, as I said, there's Forbes Street in front of Maxie School. These people are profiting off of my misery. And there's songs about that too. People profiting off of my misery and my children's misery and our suffering because these people did all these horrible things to us. And these people sit there and lie and lie and lie and lie and use their money to lie to try to make themselves look good. And that's what this whole social game is about. It's my children, they sit there and because they know what they did, and they want to hurry up and try to make me look bad because they chipped up my children illegally, and they don't want me to get help to get this stuff out of my children because they don't want to get caught. I'm sure there's RFID that links directly to the Chase family in my body and in my children's bodies. That's another thing they want to hide. I'm sure of it. The whole thing with ovulation, this is really weird. Okay, I have to talk about this, even though it's very personal. As I said, the whole Thanksgiving thing, Abe Lincoln. Now, this is really weird. When I was 13 or 14 years old, I think it was 13, but I know this is a fact, I got my first period on Thanksgiving. My first period ever. And, it's like they've controlled that or planned that or something. But I swear it's Richard's controls or something. Because the whole Abe Lincoln thing and civil engineer and Civil War, Richard Chase, civil engineer, and, These people are nuts. They're crazy. I don't know how unfortunately, Richard Chase thought he could come about and try to own my life, playing his CE games, because Elizabeth Chase has a CE in her name. And she was born on Earth Day, and he thinks he wants to abuse me with his children's information, and then they abuse me with Kim's information and Shannon's information, and because they're privileged. And it says it all over things in town. Down at social services, it talks about privilege. And then I didn't take a picture of all the signs, but there's some other ones down there. They sit there and say, the whole mark thing. The whole mark of the beast is just a name for RFID. And they think they can kill me because they put RFID in my body, and which I don't want there. I don't even want it there. And they think they can come along and start bullying me and mistreating me as if I'm some sort of animal because I've got a name of... I don't know why they put that name on RFID, because it's made my life so much more difficult. And they're playing that there's something religious about putting technology in people's body, and putting stuff in technology in people's body and going against the Bible, because it basically goes against the Bible, putting foreign objects into your body to distort who you are, or to basically defraud God's creation, which would be people who are Christian, such as me. They've used blasphemy, sacrilegion. They think they want to play that they're going to sacrifice me like a lamb, sacrificial lamb. I'm going to walk into one of these organizations. I don't know. I haven't decided if it's going to be human rights place here locally in town, because I've called the local one. They don't do nothing. Or, one of the Mason societies here in Lincoln, one of the Mason groups are... I might go to the one in Omaha, or I might go to, I've already tried the FBI. I've already tried, there's got to be some group I can go into that will help me, because they plan this, and don't want any part of it. I didn't want to be a part of this plan. They can't plan things on my behalf. I don't care who said it was okay. I don't care if my mom said it was okay, or somebody else. Because this is my life. This isn't their life. This is not okay with me. I'm not their little Pawnee. Pawn E-E, because there's 2 E's in Eggers, and the whole pawn shop with Saul's, and then, just local businesses that have been around since before I was even born. There's some of them that have been around since before I was born. And they abuse me with stupid things like Flag Day and Valentine's Day and all these holidays. Who are you to abuse me with holidays? Who are you to abuse me with the laws of this country? Who are you to think you can just come along because you want to play power and power lights are red? You want to play power and show everybody your authority and bully me around and mock me because I'm not good enough for you, because you wanted to make that statement that I'm not good enough for you, but I don't really care if you're not good enough for me because I'm more mature than you. These people set a horrible example. A horrible, horrible example. And I don't know why nobody's doing anything about it. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep putting these uploading voice messages until hopefully somebody does something, because these people are crazy. I'm surrounded by crazy people. I want somebody to do something so I can get me and my children out of this nightmare. They think it's fun to make my life a nightmare every day, every second of the day, because I'm so scared, because I'm so bullied. These people bully me. They think it's fun to go around in borrowed cars and harass me. You know, the Lassens and Shannon, and while I sit here in terror every day of my life. And Rob sits there and thinks it's funny. He looks at me and laughs. He thinks it's funny to act like children. These people think it's funny that I'm terrorized and I'm shake every day and I'm have post-traumatic stress disorder because of them. Because of Rob and because of Kim and Shannon and these people that have bullied me, who pretended to be my friends, but all of a sudden they didn't want to pretend to be my friends anymore, and he didn't want to be my husband anymore. 1990 was when I met Rob. Now, I don't know why Shannon and Kim think it's okay to take it out on me, or even Stephanie. I don't know if Stephanie is the problem, because I know he talks to her and hangs out with her a lot. And she was born in May. And basically, how can you plan making somebody's life difficult? How can you plan making somebody's life difficult because you think you're better than other people? And I don't really care if if you think you're better than other people, I would think in your older years, I would think you would think it'd be better off to leave people alone if you think you're better than them, versus to set the example of bullying and mafia, and because the name Ma, I don't know, and they're pacemakers with wow, and it spells mom upside down, and you know, and then if you put it sideways, I suppose it has something to do with equal opportunity employer. You know, if you take those same letters and put it in different directions, because these people spell things backwards, and that's part of their hieroglyphics of, I don't know, just High Street and Hawaii the con, and High is the initials for Hawaii the con. That's right, Hawaii the con. And we know the Farley and the Bamas, all of their family, their family is in Hawaii. The trip my parents were conned into, or buying, that they never got, was from Hawaii back when I was a little girl. I used to drink Shirley Temples when I'd go out. Shirley Temples or cherry juice and pop. And then there's Green River at the Pantry restaurant we used to get when we were kids. You know, they take the stupidest little things. My sister used to have a rock polisher. And there was a pet rock, and then I think it was in the early 80s. And then you had Chinese ties were a fashion, and I don't know, penny loafers, and moonwalking, because moonwalking is backwards. I suppose that's where they get this whole stupid reverse, their backwards relationships. You'd think they would have been smart enough to get together in the first place, but they're just obviously dumb. They're too dumb. They thought they had to ruin my life and then have me produce children to ruin their life too and make them suffer, because that's what the Chase family does, evidently. That's what they believe in. But their children are better. Now, we just wanted to have we just wanted to borrow your life. Borrow people's lives, and because as I said, there's part of Lincoln that are the important people, and then there's part of Lincoln that are the not important people. And these people think, the people that are on the other side of things think, oh, well, this is okay if they abuse you, as long as it's not me, as long as I've got money, blah, 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 blah. And social connections. I don't know how people can think this is okay. And I know the Warren Buffett's got connections to Richard Chase. And Warren Buffett likes Obama. But I have been abused for 4 years. I don't know why he would endorse, I don't know why anybody would endorse Obama, because he's sitting there following the laws of the Philippines when we're living in the United States of America. And for people that can't see the things that I can see, because maybe I'm more alert in some ways, more awake, because I can see who people are related to. And if you're to a certain way, if you're certain awake, as I said, if you're a certain amount awake, you can see exactly who people are related to. I can see all the roots and the strings of who people are related to, going all the way back to George Washington. If you're awake enough, you can see that. And that's why people, I don't know if everybody can see this, and I've never talked to anybody about it, because I can't talk to anybody. And I've never been able to talk to anybody about it because I never could see this before. But I can go to about any person, I can walk up to any person and tell them exactly who they're related to. Whereas I could never do that before. I can tell it, and I'm right. I can see back, I can see the strings, the roots, and that's where they get the square thing, because they wanted to exploit me, because they knew I would see this when I'd be to the certain amount of wake that I'm at. They knew I would see this, and and then exploiting me and abusing me to make me see this. They wanted to say that I'm some sort of clairvoyant, but no, I'm just at a certain amount of a level of being awake, because hypnosis has been used by governments since radio was invented. It's on radio. They used to have hypnosis shows on radio, and everybody knows, it's all over the web, that society is controlled with hypnosis, and that's old news. That's been going on since RFID, and RFID has been around since radio. And they think they can abuse me because my RFID goes out to everybody else. But everybody has RFID in their body. Everybody. Pretty much everybody. For 5 billion people. Because it's been going on since radio was invented. RFID is simple technology. The brain is its own conductor, because the brain is electric. And it's simple technology. It's so